Well, hello everybody out there. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Garrett, and you're watching 11 Bang Bang. What we have today is a standard Henry 22 lever action rifle. Now, if you want to go back and see our last video we did on a Henry, that was the Golden Boy large loop, and I will leave a link to that video right there. All right, so this is just your standard run-of-the-mill Henry 22 lever action. It's one of my favorite lever actions. It's not necessarily historically accurate to either the Marlin or the Winchester. It's its own thing, and it's its beautiful own thing. This one has its own story, I'll tell you in just a minute, but let's pop a few shots. What do you say? And click. Let's go over to the table and talk about this gun a little bit. Alright, so this particular Henry right here actually belongs to my uncle, and he's had it for a good number of years, and we've shot it a lot, but a few years ago he had a flood that came through his house, and literally this gun was underwater so bad we couldn't get to it for quite a while. So if you look at the lever and a few other places, you'll notice some rust, especially if you look at the box. You can still see the water damage. But after some time, when we could get to it, we got it cleaned up, and it still functions just fine. Like I said, if you look real close, there's some rust built up on the lever. A little bit on the barrel, not bad, but that is kind of a testament to Henry. You know, wood is all still just fine. It cleaned up just fine. And like I said, a little bit of rust here and there, but this gun has literally been through the storm and came out the other side working just about the same as it did the day he brought it home from the store. All right, let's stop talking and let's shoot a little more, huh? All right, let's see if we can't clean the top of that rail off up there. Not that one. Right here. It's gonna take a lot to knock that off. I'll hit on the top. There we go. Right there. And click. Not bad. Not that one. Right there. It's gonna take a lot to knock that off. I'll hit on the top. There we go. Alright, so just like our other video and any other Marlin or Henry tube fed gun, you're going to take your tube out there by twisting it. You're going to hold the gun at just a little bit of an angle, not a lot, and you're just going to let those rounds slide. You can actually take that all the way out if you want. Just let those rounds slide down the tube. You don't want to hold it straight up and down and just drop them. They could detonate. Being as it's a rimfire, it's not such an issue, but if you have a Henry big boy or something like that that you're loading from the end of the tube, you want to, and it's center fire, you want to be really sure not to slam them rounds into each other. And it's just a good habit to do it on the 22 as well. And I'm not going to load it all the way up this time. I'm just going to put a few rounds in there, because these things actually do hold quite a few rounds. I think that's enough for now. Just go ahead and you will slide your tube back down in there. Now remember, you don't want to cock it yet, because your hand is going to be around this muzzle when you're dealing with one of these tube style guns. Alrighty, let's go take a few more shots. Alright, let's see if we can't clear the rail. What do you say, huh? You really forget just how much fun these lever action 22s are. They're cheap to shoot. Well, cheaper, not as cheap as they used to be, of course, and they just keep on going. And the Henry is a good value for what you're getting for a lever action 22. And when you can just sit there like that and just hit and hit and hit all day, it makes these guns a lot more fun to shoot. All right, we're gonna load her up one more time. All right, I said before these guns hold a lot of rounds, so let's just count. 1, 2, 3, 14, 15. Uh-oh. This is an assault rifle in some states. All right, let's see about these water bottles. Once they start moving, it gets a little more difficult. Actually, a few of them are going right through, and actually they're closer to empty. See about that swinging one on the end. Yeah, I nicked it. Got one more for the can. And hammer down on an empty. These things are just so much fun, guys. Let's load her up again. All right, now guys, as I've said before, these guns have absolutely nothing to do really with the original William Tyler Henry or the 1860 Henry, even though the company does produce a very nice original style Henry without the forearm that, you know, similar to the Civil War 1860 Henry. But this gun is kind of, to me, it's kind of the equivalent of a Ruger. When you think of a Ruger compared to a Colt, the Ruger is just a different, more modern version of the Colt that actually works sometimes a little better. This is just a different, more modern version, in my opinion, of probably a Marlin that was made, you know, the 1895 or something like that. But it's its own thing. You really can't compare them because they're two different things. But they make a very fine .22 rifle. And it's actually a lot cheaper to buy one of these than to go out and buy, say, a Winchester 22 lever action. All right, let's see what we can't do to this rail. Let's start on the big target. Oh, yeah. My hand slipped out of the loop. Uh-oh. There we go. Slow down just a little. Those little Vienna sausage cans are small. There we go. And the tennis ball. Ah! We finally got the tennis ball. And down on an empty, as I like to say, and click. Alright, so you've seen, we've pretty well, let's see, we cleaned the rail, we cleaned the 3 targets. We have hit Cowboy Bob, we've cleaned the soda gallows, and we've cleaned the main target rail. What do you say we load up and go out here to our 30-yard target and see how many we can lay on it? All right, guys, we have a gong up the hill. That's 30 yards. Let's see what we can do at 30 yards with the Henry lever action 22. Well, there's a hit. Now, 30 yards with this gun is almost boring, guys. What do you say we turn the camera around? Let's go out to 100 and see what we can do. All right, guys, let's roll on out to that 100-yard gong with the Henry 22 lever action rifle. Ding! And I can't shoot it anymore because it turned sideways. That must be a plowboy target. All right. Actually, out there on the horizon, right below that cliff, there is a 300-yard gong, and there's no way in the world I'm going to hit this offhand. But Caleb, watch and see where that bullet lands. A little high. One more.
It's Caleb's turn.
All right. Caleb's going to take a shot on the 300-yard target. Just high. Oh, just under. The trouble is the target is smaller than the front sight at that range. Oh, you may have moved it. I couldn't tell. And click. All right, last thing today, guys. We have 4 empty shotgun shell holes up there at 15 yards. And I am going to simply take, and I'm gonna see if I can, what do I have in here, 5 shells? All right, I'm gonna see if I can clean those 4 shells off with 5 rounds. Well, not looking too positive yet. There's one. Ah! Hammer down. I gotta have a couple more shells, guys. I gotta finish this. Oh, you give me one more, huh? Well, I guess I have to do it now. All right, one shot. All right, guys, it looks like we got a dead shell, so I'm just gonna leave it sit there for a second. Pop it out. Yes, you can see the firing pin did strike that shell. It's just a dud. So, give me 1 or 2 more. You know, if you were nice, you'd give me 2. All right, one more try here. All right. And that was all I needed, I guess. 6 22 rounds for 4 empty shotgun shells. That's not too bad at 15 yards, for me anyway. All right, guys, what do I got to say about this? The Henry. If you don't have one of these in your collection, you better hurry up and go get you one, because, I mean, I don't think any collection's complete without something like this. A lever action 22 rifle. Sure, there are better ones out there. The Winchester lever action 22 rifles are almost impossible to beat, but at the same time, they cost twice as much. So, like I said, guys, if you got, if you've got a Heritage Rough Rider or Ruger Wrangler or something like that, or even a single 6, you better get you one of these to go with it as a companion. Good for squirrel hunting, good for plinking tin cans, as you've seen. We've pretty well cleaned the gauntlet of targets that we have here today, including the 100-yard target. So, yeah, just all around great guns, even if you find one used or something. So anyway, guys, as always, trust in God, keep your powder dry. Bye.